Welcome to Inside Out, brought to you by Promise Resource Network. Today we're going to talk about clothes for construction, a broken heart, how to reopen, how to reconnect, how to begin to be part of. Right? That sound good? Anybody under construction today? Why do we have construction? Why, when you go down the road, why do we have those things? Huh? Building and growing, repairing something. You know, like when they do the pipes underground, they got to repair them. Foundation, building a foundation to something. Absolutely. I love it. Oh, you guys are great. Okay, class is over. We'll go on. But that's that construction that we have. Unexpected sometimes, right? Where we shut down and have to repair. But that's okay. That's okay to shut down for a minute. It's okay to shut down for a minute. Anybody ever experience a broken heart? A heart that had to be under construction? Who wants to say something nice and loud? Yes, dear.
I just have to learn to forgive and let go and let God. And let God love me and let people love me till I love me.
It is that connection, isn't it? I think that's one of the most important things, the connection, the rebuilding, or the foundation, the building on our foundation, that doing those things that we know work best. I like that, to become connected to ourselves and to other people. Did you have one?
I had one. Mine's from a teenager, in my 20s, when a boyfriend and I broke up, or a husband and I broke up. And that broken heart felt like it was a broken heart. It felt like it was a heart that had all kinds of sticks in it, and it hurt so much, and it was all I could think of. And I didn't think I would ever get out of that pain. And I didn't do anything stupid like what do they call it when they follow you? I didn't follow a guy.
Stalk. No stalking. Huh? That's good.
But I really felt broken, and then he lied to me, and he told me he loved me. And what do you mean you don't love me? You told me you love me. That's the kind of feeling I had.
Wow, I like the word stalk because I can do that with my difficulties.
Yeah.
Man, I can follow them around. I can put them in my head and walk everywhere I go in my head with that destructive thinking, right? That brokenness. Did you have something, darling? Oh, okay. Well, say something anyway.
That was good. What you said. That was good. What you said. I never thought about stopping your emotions.
Yeah, to follow them in an unhealthy way, something that may have served us at one time or helped us at one time, right? To continue to seek out, even though it doesn't benefit us, right? And I know that is good. Write that down. Shit, somebody write that shit down. Come on, we got nobody out there on chat. We got to get some chatting, folks. Y'all talk us up out in the community. All right, so they're having a good time next door. They're doing training over there. I'm so excited. Yeah, I know. They're having fun. We're gonna have fun too. It's a little serious of a topic though, isn't it? Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. The answer is always recovery. The answer is always love, right? When we pave that street with love, not good intentions. They always told me I had a double lane highway going to hell with my intentions. So, but today it's about building a good road, building a good way to get to where I want to get to, right? Anybody else have any stories or discussion about being broken, our hearts, anything? Oh, go ahead.
Does somebody else want to talk?
I don't think so.
One thing that helps me in my mature life is to remember that I'm not in charge, and this is exactly what I'm supposed to.
Ooh,
That
yeah.
hurts a lot, but it is the truth, and that helps me get through it. It's just not anything I did or said or whatever.
This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Boy, that pissed me off more than anything. You're where you're supposed to be. Shut the. Yeah. Anyway, I hated when they said that because I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be in that pain, but it was necessary. First, we had to dig up that hurt so we can get to the healthy feelings, the healthy heart. right? So we dig out that negativity, we dig out that confusion, hurt, pain, anger, sadness, dig out all that stuff so we can get to the good stuff, so we can build a really straight, strong foundation and road, right? So, yes. Did anybody?
Yeah,
No? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have been, which ain't no broken heart. I'm just gonna come out and keep it real. That, when you gotta be all right with some people, I ain't say everybody, some. And then they turn around, you ain't did nothing to them, and they wants to go south.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I can look at the person eye to eye, but the person can look at me. What have I done to you? You know, and so I wanted to lash out, but it ain't gonna do no good because it's gonna cause confusion.
Mm.
But I'm gonna keep it real. That I'm gonna keep on going. I'm gonna go like a cloud. That person that talk about me, you need to talk about yourself. You need to judge yourself. You can't judge me because I ain't did nothing to you. I mean, what's inside might be like that, but I don't care. You ain't got no control over me.
You know, I like what you said about looking inside.
Yeah, you got. I mean,
I got to look inside. You know, it's easy to tell other people that's your shit,
yeah. Exactly.
but sometimes it's my shit.
But I'm saying, though, if you gonna keep it real.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't have your mind going another way. And this person ain't did nothing to you.
Yeah.
You know, and like me, I don't let nobody be in my business. I ain't trying to be in their business.
That's it. That's
You know?
it.
And so I have been broken hearted, you know, the day my dad's birthday.
Yeah.
So, well, but me and mine had a long talk yesterday. But if I have something, I mean, just me, I'm gonna give you something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I ain't gonna come to you all the time and ask you for nothing. You know, if you don't want to do it, just say you don't want to do it.
You know what? And to take that back to ourselves, to bring that back to the me. Am I minding my own business? Am I looking at myself? Because that's the only solution. I can look at y'all all day, but that don't do shit for my recovery. Right? It doesn't do shit for my recovery. I know we got to keep it real. We got to keep it real with ourselves, don't we? Got to keep it real with ourselves. And that, because if I don't today, I'm missing the mark. I'm not. I had an opportunity. You said you had a discussion yesterday. I had a discussion too yesterday. It was borderline a fight, argument, not a fight. No. When I do it, it's more like this. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter. I'm a runner. Somebody gave me shit. I'm like, oh yeah, let's meet outside, and then I go out the front door. I don't play that shit. I don't do that shit. I could have been. I don't remember. I pretty much was blacked out most of it. But that's what we do. We try to put. Do you ever see where the Department of Transportation? Let's talk about Department of Transportation. Department of Transportation will come and they'll just put a layer over a pothole, and before too long, it's right back to where it was.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. We just put a layer over it.
That's why the streets are so messed up.
Temporary. Thank you. A temporary patch for a heartache.
The streets are messed up.
Yeah, and so is my heart. The streets of my heart, right?
Wow.
And that's where I got to do those deep repairs. right? That's where I got to do that stuff that helps me feel the way I want to feel, right?
Put it all down and do it correctly.
Yeah, that's it. I got to get down in there. First thing I got to do is assess. Hey, Kelly, we got Kelly in the house. Hey, we haven't had anybody talk to us in so long, honey. I'm so glad to see you.
Hey, Kelly.
So we've got some things we've got to look at. There are some. Let me give you this lady's name because I want to give her credit. That did this. Her name's Karen Dempsey, and she came up with some good ideas, I think, on how to reopen our heart, right? And the first thing she says is clear your clutter. Clear your clutter. Dig that out. It says the first rule in emotional health is to clear stuff from our environment that doesn't serve us anymore. What goes on outside of us can reflect what's going on inside, can it? Oh, I got a cluttered room in my house. It is just boxes and Christmas stuff and canned goods and just all the extra stuff that I don't know what to do with, or the stuff that I just don't know where to put yet.
I come clean it for you.
I got, you know what? And you help me clean my heart every day.
Aw.
You know that? As we work together, we help reopen each other's hearts. But to be able to get rid of that clutter, whether it's a physical clutter where it says here to clear the clutter, when we get rid of that outside physical stuff, it's easier to get to the deeper stuff, right? When I clear out the bullshit, when I get real with myself, right? When I get real with myself. Kelly's glad to be here. We're glad you're here too.
I heard somebody say, I don't even know where I heard it or if I read it or, I don't know. But it said, when your mind is cluttered, your life is cluttered.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because we bring those things into our lives that I don't need. That clutter, that stuff that I can grab a hold of to help temporarily soothe, patch that, a temporary patch. Kelly says, if I never break from what hurt me, I'll continue to bleed on the people that didn't cut me. That's why I choose healing. I love that. I love that. And I've heard that, and it's so true. If I never break from what hurt me, I'll continue to bleed on the people that didn't cut me. Wow. We do that, don't we? I carry that clutter from my last relationship, from my last employment, from my last whatever, or from years and decades and all that a long time ago. I can carry that with me. All right. So first, declutter. The next one is stop expecting people to anticipate your every need. What? Y'all supposed to be psychic in my life and know what I need. Come on now. If I say, hey, how you doing? Then I want to be able to have you say, well, yeah, Sharon, I see you need this or you need that or da-da-da-da-da. So I want to be able to understand that other people don't have that ability to read my mind. I got to ask, what's your number? Can I get it? Right? I got to be the one, that reaches out. Because you all got what I want. I got a broken heart. You probably don't want that. You got what I want. So I'm going to reach out to you and get those things, declutter, get those people out, and stop expecting people to anticipate my every need, right? It says this is often a key reason why people come into therapy. They expect people around them to pick up on cues and take care of them. Taking responsibility for our own needs. When we take responsibility for ourselves, it's empowering. That's where I get my strength from. When I can take responsibility for my needs instead of expect them to be taken care of outside of me, right? Easier said than done. Going back to assessment. First, I got to figure out what my needs are. Hell, I don't even know what I need. Once I figure that out, then I can begin the process. I can go to where my needs can be met. Yes, sir.
Who's that? You said Ann or you said one? I just want
Oh, on the thing or
Ann, somebody the thing you're looking at.
Okay.
Karen, Ann, something.
Karen Dempsey. She's good. I like her. I like this.
Thank you.
Anybody ever get pissed because people aren't psychic?
Yeah.
I know. I don't understand that. Why can't you hear me? Yeah.
Happened this morning. I was at 7:09 this morning. There was somebody in the other room that was sleeping.
Uh-huh.
It looked like he had a rough night. He was
Yeah.
drunk or whatever. Somebody made a comment and says, "Oh, that's G. He's sleeping." And I'm in the bathroom. I come out of the bathroom. I said, "I'm right here, guys.
Uh-huh.
That ain't me." So you guys are too quick to judge. And
That's
I'm like,
it.
"No, I'm fine." I'm like, "Everything's fine." And they're like, "That's somebody else."
Yeah.
And then they went in the room and they're like, "Oh, you're right." They were immediately thought it was me.
Yeah. Yeah. Those expectations that other people can have of us, right? But I want to be able to take care of myself today. I want to be able to have that need met that I'm good enough today. Man, I want that in my head and my heart. Yes, dear.
I always try to get validation of people. I try too hard. Do I look good? Should I change my hair? Should I do this? Should I do that? I just feel like there's a part of me that's incomplete.
Mm.
They always try to compare with other people.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that since my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to I'm just trying to figure out who I am. I can barely love me today.
Yeah.
I don't know what love is because I've always been hurt. I've been broken. So I'm just trying to mold myself back together. I love my kids. I hurt you over my kids. Those are my babies. I birthed them. But when it comes to my recovery, like women say, I have to learn. I'm trying to figure out who I am.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I'm at the transit, everything is coming at me. Guys, bus drivers, everything is coming at me. Oh, you this, you that. And like, how can I just breathe? Can I breathe? Like, I feel like it's just like it's too much.
It can be too much, can't it?
Yeah.
I'm really glad you're here. I'm really glad you're here because it can be overwhelming, especially in the beginning, because I don't feel like I got anything to grab a hold of. And that makes me anxious, right? So first thing that they told me that was so helpful to me after I heard it, I had to hear it first. They told me not to compare my insides on your outsides. Meaning y'all may look like you got your shit together, right? You dressed, you showered, everything looks good, hair in place, you're talking all the good shit, right? And I feel so bad inside. And I think to myself, I wish I could be like that. I wish I could be together, but I'm not together. I wish I could be whole, but I'm not whole. I wish I could love myself, but I don't do that yet. But that's okay. That's okay. That's where we start. You know, we look at the world and think it's better than us, but it's not. You know, there is no one greater than us as far as changing the world, right? And getting to know ourselves is key. Getting to know ourselves is key. And it takes a lifetime. Yes, dear.
For some people, it's the scar that they try to cover with a self-different portrait. You know what I mean? It's almost like what you're saying. It's like you did all this good stuff, but the inside is what's really wounded. So it's like that's a scar that you want to heal it, but there's that dilemma of how am I actually going to go by healing this scar?
Yeah.
And not wanting to, because you have some individuals that just doesn't want to reveal the scar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's showing that. I mean, because you could be hurt. Well, like they say, your tongue is your best friend and your worst enemy,
Mhm.
because some things you may say, like we said once before, you might trigger some people.
Yeah.
And then it depends on the tone of how you are actually speaking it through your tongue.
Mhm.
And as far as your scars are concerned, I mean, this is the scars that we self-inflicted on ourselves, and now we trying
Can
to
be,
fix
yep.
them.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to try to fix the deep cut that you done gave yourself,
Yeah.
because it's not like I can put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah. Because it's a gaping wound.
Yeah, it's not like I can go to the doctor and get some stitches put in it, because it's not gonna help, because the
Yeah.
stitches will come out.
Yeah.
So it's just, I mean, for some, it's just you have to, what they say, you got to just keep your head to the sky and try to make the best of every situation.
Yeah.
Even though it's gonna be hard, because Mama used to say it's gonna be days like this.
Yeah.
You
But
know, so
eventually the pain diminishes a little, don't you think? If you keep trucking.
Hold on one at a time.
well, I mean, it does. Well, let's say it's just like you might take an aspirin that might ease the headache for about 5 to 10 minutes, but that headache is coming back.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Temporary patch.
Yeah.
Temporary
Yeah.
patch.
So it's not like, the deeper you cut yourself is a deeper hole that you got to try to get out of. And sometimes it's just, it's going to be a battle. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because every day individuals fight demons that we don't even know about or
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. We all got our battles, don't we?
Yeah.
And some of them, they always told me that if you wanted to trade your burdens with somebody else, you think you got it so bad, you sit and talk to somebody and realize it has never failed me that if I was in one of those self-pity modes, I would sit beside somebody who truly had some issues, truly had some problems. You triggered something in my head. And I'm going to screw this up. In Japan, when a pot is broken and they
Yeah.
put it back together, they put it back together with gold.
With gold?
With gold. And the break is more valuable
Uh-huh.
because it was put back together.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? The break is more it's like when you break a bone, right? It'll be weak, but right here is the strongest part of us because it's been broken and now it's healed, right? But and it can be broken and not healed correctly, and then we walk around with that trauma in our hearts. Let's see what else it says. I got to get back to it. You said, Robin, that it gets easier over time, you think?
The pain that I lived with for so long and drank over and did all that stuff was the pain in my family. I had a total vision of not being loved, not being done, and it was killing me. I cried all the time. I was miserable all the time. I blamed them all the time. And when they died, for some reason, probably with some good sponsorship, I had to jump in there and see my part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that they really loved me. It's just that they couldn't show it, my mother especially, because she loves according to what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I did something bad, she took away her love. And I didn't think I'd ever heal from that. I wanted to commit suicide over all that pain. And if I remember, this is my story, and so it probably wasn't as painful as it seemed, but it was painful.
Mm-hmm.
And until I could jump in and see my part and make them into people that really did love me. I mean, what's there not to love? They're good people, and I'm a daughter of theirs, and they tried to do good things for me that I usually said no. And as soon as I started doing that, the pain diminished, and it was so helpful because I've lived with that pain for so long.
Mm-hmm.
My sister still doesn't speak to me. It's been about 4 or 5 years. And when I get in there in prayer, sometimes I can cry and be sad about it. But then again, I have to say, this is a sick person, just like me. And just don't let me be angry with her and watch her go. That's kind of a deal. And that's really sad because, when you don't talk to a family person, eventually you die. And he goes, shit, man, I had all those years that I could have talked to my family person, and I didn't, right? Right? So, anyway, by looking at my part, I guess is what I just said, And by keeping trucking, that's what I was trying to say. By no matter how, and I've stayed in bed crying for 4 months before, but no matter how hard it was, getting up, coming here, getting out, coming here, and then I could add another thing, but I could not change my brain without me working too, and without a higher power.
You said to see the people that hurt us as human.
Yeah, because really, my mother was an ogre, right? She was a big old monster, and I don't know what my dad was, but I didn't like him. He
Yeah,
hated him,
yeah.
You know,
And when we are able to take a look and say, you know what, they did the best they could with what they had, and then flip that and say to myself, I did the best that I could do too. Let me look at myself as a human being, as someone that is flawed, but can have that gold, just that gold little path where I was broken before. I am now even more precious by the break. Yes, sir.
I like my man down there said about the demons. And we do fight demons. We fight demons every day. We gotta get them off. So you can't fight with the flesh, you gotta fight with the spirit.
Mm.
And another thing you had, Ms. Nate, that you had went to with your family. But the key word is you gotta ask God for forgiveness. You know, for that. And I know I had been like that too, because my dad had abused me and my sister. My sister pastor now, but they hated my dad. And I hated my dad. But the key word was I came to him. And I asked for forgive me. Forgive me. But he couldn't be a man enough to ask him to forgive me. But my aunt had told me a long story yesterday that my dad went through so with his mom, and I don't know, I wasn't born then, but he kept everything to himself. He brought up his business and nothing. Well, I look at me, if I had done something to somebody, I go to God first, and I go to them. I tell them, forgive me. If it's separate, they don't want to separate. I go game to my father.
To make a true amends.
Yeah, I'll make a mean. You know, I don't say the higher power, I say my father or God.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's me.
Yeah.
Anybody else say what they want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know I go to him. But the key word, though, if anything happening to your life, and I'm speaking down on that real,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta ask for forgiveness. No matter what, you know.
And all these things.
You
Go
might
ahead.
have that stuff in your mind all the time. But deep down in your heart is the key. You gotta ask for forgiveness.
That amends, that I go to someone and say, listen, I did something wrong. I did something against you. How can I make it right? I got to do an amends to myself too. It talks about that in some of the literature I read, that I have to be the first one to realize that I resented myself. I hurt myself. I put myself in situations that were dangerous, that were not beneficial for me. And I got to forgive myself first. I got to make amends to myself. How can I make this right is the question. How can I make my heart right today, Robin?
I know this is my morning meeting. I'll be very quick, but it really affected me, and I've been thinking about it all day. A girl was sharing her story, and she was talking about, that there was this disease in her life that made her do things that she doesn't normally do. But at the same time, there was the opposite side, where she was a nice and loving person, and she was a good person. When the disease wasn't in control,
Mm-hmm.
she was a loving person. And that really affected me, because I beat up on myself and hate myself so much. And I shouldn't. I know I try. But that really helped me to know that even while I was in the midst of my disease,
Mm.
I still had the capabilities of being nice and
Mhm.
you know and so forth.
Mhm.
I know my selfishness was horrible, but it wasn't all of me.
No, no.
You know.
And that's it. It's not all of me. The
Mhm.
pain is not all of me. It can feel like it, can it? When we're engulfed in that horrible sadness and angst and anxiety and just all that stuff. It can feel so bad.
Mhm.
Like I'm never going to get through this, but I will. I will if I take some action. The next one is always the best. Count your blessings.
Oh yeah.
Count your blessings. Be grateful. We always get to that one, don't we? That is always a good answer to about anything we're going through. Count your blessings. Look for gratitude in whatever it is.
Yeah, but sometimes when you that phrase of count your blessings, sometimes it's not always the blessings that you are actually looking for.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So you when they say count your blessings, it's just basically saying you need to be thankful for what you got going on because your blessings can help others, but you got to
Mhm.
first help yourself to a
Mm.
blessing
Right.
before you can bless anybody else.
yes.
And because sometimes like I say we all go through what we go through, we all fight demons, this, that, to the third, but my demons is no comparison to your demons.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I can't fight your demons because I can't even fight mine.
Mm.
You know, so I have to look within myself. I have to forgive myself and think of the footsteps that I took to getting up to this demon. You know, I can't retract my footsteps, but I can retract on how I'm going to deal with these demons.
Yeah.
You know, so I got to always keep that, be mindful of that because what they used to tell you in school, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
And a waste is a terrible thing to mind. That's my girth speaking.
I mean, that's
No, go ahead, Ross. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, that's well and good, though. I mean, because that works for you. That wouldn't work for Miss Robin.
That's right.
That wouldn't work for this lady. That wouldn't work for him. That wouldn't work for him or me.
Yeah.
But then again, we would not know because we're not willing to give that part of it a try.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that's going to be the failure is a try.
Yeah.
You know, so like I said, you just have to really do, like what you said, Robin, about how your family, you might have thought that they didn't love you. They was loving you, but it wasn't in the way that you was looking for.
Expected.
Yeah,
You know,
expected. That's right.
So
They were mind
I mean,
readers.
they was just actually just giving you a value standpoint as far as their love, so that way when it comes upon you, which it was directed for you, it was probably to help you in the long run because they loved you in a way that they didn't love your brothers, your sisters,
Right,
this,
right.
that, because they can't love you all the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you always gonna treat a different family member a different way. I can't just say I'm gonna treat my daughter this way, like I'm gonna treat this daughter this way, because it's two different personalities.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a part of the personality of you because it's in your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to learn how to. Okay, I can love you this way. I'll love you this way. It's still I'm loving you all the same,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not in the same format that you are expecting.
That's it. I got to get my blessings whether I'm expecting them that way or not. I got to accept my blessings. Did you ever get a message from someone and you thought, what the hell is this person talking to me for? And yet it was the truth.
Yeah.
Not an ugly truth or anything, but just,
It
how's
might
your
have
day?
been.
Today's a good day. And the truth of that, I may not have wanted to hear from that person because they looked a certain way or acted a certain way or was, I thought, a certain way, the same way people thought about me. Right? So to be able to accept those, Kelly says, in my hardest times, I'll challenge myself to do an A to Z gratitude list, something for every letter of the alphabet. Or if I'm having trouble falling asleep, or if I'm having a hard time falling asleep, and you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't pour from an empty cup.
This is kind of weird, not been off topic much. The other day when I was getting my phone, I was having a kind of a rough time. and I was going up to the Spectrum Center to charge my phone. And they asked me to leave because I was intruding,
Uh-huh.
so I couldn't charge my phone. Get to the point. This dad and his son come down the steps. And the baby was only 10 months old. And the baby looked at me and started grinning and waving. And I was going through so much at the time. I told that dad, I said, that made my day.
Yeah.
Because I was going through so much. It's the small things, y'all. A smile. A
Yeah.
hug. When people go in, and I thank God, I try to take a suggestion. When I get up in my bed every morning, I put my feet on the floor and I just try to sit. Like some people told me to do and meditate.
Mm-hmm.
I try to sit. I just sit there for 5-10 minutes with my eyes closed and be grateful for what I have.
Yeah. I love that little wave. That almost brought me to tears. And you know how little kids wave? Hi. Hi. Isn't that beautiful? The innocence of that. If you stayed in that space, you would have missed that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have noticed it. But as we open ourselves up to new experiences, we notice things differently. It says, be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah, but the change in the world that you're going to see might not be the change you're actually looking for.
Oh,
I mean,
Go ahead, tell me more.
Like, say for instance, everybody, let's just hypothetically speak, everybody wants peace in the world,
Mm-hmm.
but at what cost am I going to get this peace in this world?
Am I going? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because for every reaction for every action is a reaction,
Mm-hmm.
and
Equal and opposite reaction.
right,
Mhm.
and just like she just elaborated, or both of y'all elaborated on it. The truth that you don't want to hear,
Mm.
it's because it's like you could tell me something, and I wouldn't expect it to come from you
Mm-hmm.
because I was thinking Robin would have told me that,
Yeah.
but it came from you
Yeah.
and not her, and then that kind of throws you for a little loop. But when someone tells you something to like a total stranger, you get mad at them because the stranger might have told you something, but the stranger actually told you a truth that you was really wanting to hear, but it just came from a source that you didn't expect it to come from.
And didn't want it to come.
Right. I mean, you expecting it to come from the door, but it was the wall that smashed you. I mean, so you look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
you saying, well, damn, how did you? But the wall knew more than what the door knew. But you was expecting the door to just know so much. Just like we all say about the higher power, this, that, to the third. We all have God within us.
That's right.
We all have two different sides of us. We got a good spirit and an evil spirit. And whichever spirit is everybody wants to constantly go to the good spirit, but you got to always have the opposite because it always attracts. It has to balance itself out. But if you're doing more of your negative spiritual side, then that's what people expect you. Like, I couldn't expect you to be like, man, I didn't expect you to do that because every time I see you, you are always going off to the deep end. You know what I mean? And sometimes the smallest thing, like the little baby wave, that baby was going to make you acknowledge him whether you wanted to or not. I mean, because the baby really didn't have no sense of direction of what it was actually doing. It just happened to just see you, and it was just you made that baby's day. And it said, well, you know what? It made my day, so I'll wave at you. I'll smile at you, which you had to feel some type of way about that because you was not expecting it to come from an infant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You'd be like, damn, this infant you really made my day.
Yes.
But because you was not expecting the unexpected, which you have to expect the unexpected because that's just the way of the world. I mean, we can't all just have peaches and creams in the world. We just can't because the world wasn't built like that. Just like it wasn't built in a day. So they say.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, it's just, like I say, when you're fighting your demons, you just got to know what kind of weapons you need to fight this demon today, what weapon I need to fight that one with tomorrow, and so on and so forth. Even just like with the good spiritual side, I got to still have weapons to make that still keep going.
Ooh, can I tell? Has anybody not? Okay, because it's. Oh, okay. We got something going on.
Amber Alert.
Oh, we got an Amber Alert going on. Everybody's phone's going to go off. And there goes mine. All right. God bless. Okay. Yeah. Wait, good. Okay. I think that's it. Who has not heard the story of the two wolves? Has anybody not heard it? You haven't heard it? Good. Okay. You're the only one. Two wolves. Okay. There was an old man sitting with his grandson one day, and the grandson says, "Why is the world so evil? Why is there so much heartache and pain in the world?" And the old man said, "There are two wolves in us, and every day they fight. They fight to the death every day. Who's going to win? The evil, wicked, self-centered wolf, or the good, loving, peaceful wolf?" Right? And they fight and they fight and they fight. And the little boy says, "Which one wins?" And the old man says, "The one you feed." What am I feeding today? Am I seeking the good? Am I looking for? Right? There will always be the difficult. Right? I just want to seek. I want to look for, because what I look for, I find. If I'm looking for my keys, I'm going to find my keys, hopefully. Right? I'm not looking for breakfast. I'm looking for my keys. Right? I'll stop and eat breakfast, but that's just me. So, yeah. So, okay, let me see what else. She had a couple other good points I want to go through real quick because we're about out of time. Be the change you want to see in the world, like we said. Be what you want. If your gut tells you, tell the person beside you, "Hey, it's going to be an okay day." If your gut tells you to tell someone, "Hey, I love you," if it's somebody you know, or even if it's somebody you don't, to be able to say those things that you feel maybe somebody needs to hear. I was, and we don't get to choose if they accept it or not. I was driving down the road the other day, and there was this beautiful dog, and I rolled down my window and I told the guy with the dog, I said, "That is a gorgeous dog. I love that dog." And he said, so I said, "Well, have a good day." And he said, so I was like, so he didn't accept it, but I said it. Now, maybe later in the day, right? Maybe later in the week, maybe that'll come back to him like things come back to me, right? So I want to be able to put that out in the world. I want to be able to put that love, put that peace, put all those things out into the world, right? Yes, sir.
It's not men a broken heart, right?
Yeah.
No, it's because of men a broken heart. You have to see your needs and what you need.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I needed counseling years ago, but I never got it.
Mm-hmm.
So I waited till my life just hit rock bottom, then everything I've been through my whole life just came out.
Yeah.
So I always knew I needed counseling, but I never got it.
Yeah.
I knew I needed it, and now I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
So I should have done it years ago. It would have been. It would have come out. Everything would have come out so bad like it did this year. But you got to take care of yourself. You need something better. Do it and not put it off, and it's going to do it. Because it's sooner now than later.
Yep.
The sooner you do it, the better.
You're right. You're right.
You need something to do it.
I want to feel better now.
Yep.
I do want to feel better now.
So don't put it off next year or
Yeah.
next month. Do it.
Yeah. We don't have to today, do we? We don't have to. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to be in recovery. Today is a good day to begin to mend that broken heart. Right. All right. 2 things. Warm line. If you need to talk to somebody in the middle of the night, in the middle of the afternoon, whenever it is, holidays, weekends, we're here. The number is 833-390-7728. You can find that number on our website on this Facebook page. You can find it all over PRN's materials. The other thing, share this if you would. Share this, and maybe somebody needs to hear it. Maybe somebody needs to hear about construction today, right? How to how to dig up and then repave that little spot in us that hurts. Yes, dear. One last thing.
What I was going to say was, I don't know, did anybody ever hear a saying,
come from the Caribbean. It says that you should drink coconut water. It washes your heart.
Ooh, no, I've never heard that.
First thing in the morning, they say wash your heart with coconut water because I guess because of the electrolytes in it. They said coconut is the most electrified food on the planet.
Mm.
And one of the reasons why it's so high, it's so close to the sun. It's the tallest,
Wow.
you know.
It's the tallest plant closest to the sun. Yeah.
Because one of my teachers, he doesn't even drink regular water. He drinks only coconut water, and he's doing just great. So I just wanted to I was trying to look it up and say, why do people say that drink coconut water and it washes your heart? No money, but my phone is offline.
Coconut water washes your heart. I appreciate that. Hold on, we're about done. But I appreciate that because that is a bit of information I didn't have before.
Me too.
So that may be something that I can use to flush myself, to declutter.
I'm
To
going
declutter.
buy coconut
Ah.
water right now.
I want to thank y'all for being out there. I want to thank my crew. Give yourself a hand. Good job. And Kelly, I appreciate you being out there, girl. All right. Keep peace, share love, and we'll talk to you later.